Hey there, I'm back to talk about toiletries. I think one of the most challenging things about packing light and about even doing one bag or carry-on only travel is being able to pack toiletries in a compact way that also allows you to have all the things that you love to have when you're at home, or at least most of them, and allows you to bring your liquids as well as some makeup. Hi there. So if you're new here, my name is Natalie. I'm a decorative and restoration artist turned travel vlogger, mainly because I travel so much for my work. So I'm constantly on the move, I'm constantly traveling, and I've been morphing and rearranging and innovating my travel items so that I can travel better, travel lighter, and travel with a lot more ease. And that was the reason that I started this channel. So if those topics are of interest to you, then definitely stay tuned for this video and like and subscribe if you would, because that will enable YouTube to know that this is of interest to you and others, and I can keep making videos. So let's dive into what I have here, and I'll show you how I pack, and maybe at the end give you some tips and tricks and even show you actually how I pack my toiletries in my bag, in my case, so that you have a better idea of how I'm doing it, and maybe you want to adopt some of those things for your own use. So let's dive in. So I've laid out all of my toiletries here for you to be able to see. And there is a bag here in the back that has all of my liquids. It is my liquid bag, and it's actually a little smaller than a quart size bag for me. So if I did have to take it out and put those items in a quart size bag, everything would fit. And then I'm going to go left to right and just talk to you about each thing that I have. So for the sake of showing you what I'm using for my toiletry bag, this was a gift with purchase, and it is a very small, you can see, I mean, the length of my hand is maybe 6 inches or so. So I'm guessing that this is probably 8 inches by 5 inches when it's closed, and then probably 3 to 4 inches thick. And it does have a snap handle on it, so this is really nice to be able to put around a towel rack in a bathroom if you didn't have counter space. And I like this because it has a fairly generous size for the size of this bag being so small. It has a fairly generous size pocket on one side, which is also clear, and then 2 other clear pockets on this side that are gusseted and a fairly decent size. So I actually use one side for usually hair and makeup, or hair care and pharmacy, and then the other side I'll use usually for makeup and something of that nature. And then all of the other type items will go in this larger section. And then of course I do have my liquids toiletry bag here that is completely separate, and I do keep my liquids separate, and typically even if I'm traveling by car, because I've just gotten in the habit of doing that. And depending on where I'm going and depending on how strict I know the airport may be, I would have to sometimes put some of my makeup items into the liquid bag, like mascara or lip gloss or something like that. Especially going through London Heathrow, you would have to put that in your liquids bag, and you would have to put it into their plastic bag as well. But for the sake of doing this, I'm actually flying Allegiant. I have TSA pre-check, so I did not have to get my liquids out at all, but I do still travel with my liquids separate in that bag from my regular toiletry bag. So let's dive in and I'll show you how I actually do this. So on this open side part of my toiletry bag, that's where I'm putting all of these little packets. Now, some people, you can decant things. I do decant my deodorant and I have a night salve that I put on my face. I decant those into small containers like this, but because I have sample sizes also of moisturizer, eye cream, I even have some little eye mask to put on. I have some deodorant wipes. This is my toothpaste, and normally I do travel with toothpaste tabs, but I had these and I decided to use them. I also typically carry nail polish removing wipes for times right now where I really need to do my fingernails because they've gotten chipped up. And I even carry my essential oils sometimes in a container like this because it makes it so much easier to transport that and not get dinged as a liquid item. I also do usually travel with one package of shampoo and conditioner just for the purposes of having an extra just in case. And then all of these things actually go into this side of my toiletry bag. A witch hazel wipe, a shout wipe. I love having these deodorant wipes as well, especially when you're traveling. It just allows you to kind of freshen up. My toothpaste. My feminine care products. I think I usually put that in one of these. Then I have cotton pads and Q-tips, which I'm not sure where I'm putting them. Let's see. And I think that's really what a lot of this is when you're packing toiletries. You're kind of more or less playing Tetris, you know, to figure out what works best for you. Now, it looks like I'm kind of putting pharmacy things on one side, so I'm going to kind of stick with that. I also have a COVID test. I have some homeopathic sinus medicine, which I will also put on the same side that I've already started in filling. And I remembered Band-Aids this time. I'm very grateful for that. Okay, what else? I also travel with Melgel. I don't know if you've heard of Melgel. It is really great. It's kind of like a Neosporin, but natural. Then I also travel with spirulina and activated charcoal. It helps with food poisoning or just if you're exposed to toxins or something like that. I enjoy traveling with that as well. Of course, a little bit of Tiger Balm. I also bring a little bit of laundry soap, and this happens to be bits and pieces from the laundress. I like that. It's fairly clean laundry soap. I'll put that in with my pharmacy and feminine care. And I think I'll put my lens wipes on that side as well, and my glasses repair kit, since I wear glasses and need them. Another thing that I, put in, I'm not seeing it. Oh, sunscreen. I would like to put my sunscreen also in kind of my pharmacy side. So that's getting pretty tight, getting pretty well filled, and I'm happy about that. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of zip that to make sure that, yeah, and it's pretty nicely filled. Now, another thing I also bring with me is spare batteries for whatever small appliances I might be using. I have like a little hair trimmer and all of the little gadgets that go along with that. And then I also have my portable frother that I bring for my coffee and my tea, and these batteries also work with that. And then I also have the battery for my luggage scale. So I always have batteries, and I keep them kind of with my toiletry items. And I think I'm going to put it on the big side. I think that's where I had it before. And now let's just go with makeup. I have just various pencils, eye pencils, eyebrow pencil, liner, a sharpener, a tool for your eyelashes, eyebrows, which is great, a lipstick, a portable brush that is packable, which is really nice, and lipstick, a highlighter, And I also like these rice paper facial tissues. You know, you may have seen that before. I really do like those and use them for blotting. And I can't go and travel without, of course, some lip balm. That's also very helpful. And then I do have some face tools that I like to use, gua sha tools. And I always carry a compact with me. And the reason that I do that is because sometimes I can't get close enough to a mirror and I have a vision issue. So I always try to carry this in case I need to see in my eye or apply makeup. I can actually see by using a compact. Okay, we're getting kind of full on that side as well. Now I'm going to put these two that I've decanted in the larger size. Now this is something that I bring, and I think I've only worn this twice, but this is one of those gadgets that helps keep your bra straps together if you have bra straps that keep sliding down. And I always keep one of these in my toiletry kit, and I'm going to put that on my kind of health and beauty side. And also, super important are nail implements. So I always carry some of those. I also carry a pretty extensive sewing kit. I can't tell you how many times I've used this, and it's come in very helpful. And then this is just a little tiny micro blade razor, but it helps if you, I don't know, if you have a stray hair or something, you want to get rid of it, it's nice to have. And you don't get dinged for that because it's not a full razor, so you can actually take that on an airplane, which is great. And I'll go ahead and put my little personal shaver on the makeup side as well. And then that really fills up. You can see how nicely that kind of fills that side, but it's nice and flat. Oh, and I did forget, I have an Alka-Seltzer type product that I'll put in the pharmacy side as well, and just kind of work those little things in. I love this little bag that came with this brush. Now I put this little tiny nail brush in here myself, but this is the little brush, this little kabuki brush that came with in this little container. It's by Anastasia, Beverly Hills. And I love to be able to travel with these two things because it compacts, you know, but then the bristles don't get out of shape by traveling in this little thing. And I can just slide that in with all these other little packages. Now, some other things that I didn't completely mention initially are my hair care. Now, of course, I'm not going to put my straight iron, my flat iron in this. It will not fit. But I wanted to show you that I do bring one of these with me. And one of the reasons also that I like bringing this is that it will allow me to press a collar. It will allow me to press cuffs on a sleeve or on some pants that maybe got wrinkled during travel. So I use this not only for my hair, but I also like this in addition to using wrinkle releaser, that it really helps with my traveling needs. I also do carry a hairbrush, and I carry it in one of these Brighton bags because I don't want to get hair inside of my luggage. So I love to be able to do this. There are many places you can get one of these little drawstring bags, and I love being able to carry my brush that way because it keeps it nice and clean. Now I do carry a folding rat tail comb so that I can part my hair, and I also like to be able to tease my hair sometimes to give it a little bit of body. So I'll put that in this side of my toiletry kit. This is dry shampoo. It's called Puff Me. And I just refill this with other dry shampoo that I have. It's non-aerosol, so I like that type of product. Now, this is it's such a great thing. I use this instead of liquids. Now I do have some liquid, and I told you that I carry one package of shampoo and conditioner as a kind of a backup, but I also use this little soap container, and I have my exfoliating face soap, I have my body soap, and then I actually have my shampoo and conditioner bars in here as well. And there's a small tray in the bottom, so it keeps this from being wet. And I also found this little tiny loofah sponge so that I'm able to actually put that inside of there and put the lid on it. And there is enough shampoo, conditioner, and soap in here that I could probably travel for several weeks. And then this goes on this side of my little bag. And now what I'm left with are my hair implements. Now these I use at nighttime to kind of do heatless curls with my hair. I really like using that. And I'm going to see over here what room I have. I think I'm going to put some of my hair care in with my beauty stuff. I think that will fit. These may not fit, but I have a couple of sets of scrunchies. Those will fit over here. I have all sorts of barrettes, and I probably need to cull a lot of these. I don't need them all this time. I had them in there for my last trip when I had a couple of events to attend. So now here is something that I think is important to mention. I found a metal claw clip. And I know that a lot of these are plastic, and if you've ever traveled with them, a lot of times they break. I love the fact that I found a metal one, and I think I found these in a 3-pack, and I found them at TJ Maxx or Marshall's. So highly recommend finding a metal claw clip. And I may have to put that on this side. And all the rest of these should be able to fit in with my makeup. Yep. Okay. Another thing that I do bring is my Sonicare toothbrush. I do not put that in here either because it's too big. I do use this in some of the channel areas of the suitcase where the handle goes. And then I'm going to put these on this side and these on this side as well. The last thing I carry with me is a measuring tape, and the reason I travel with this is because I keep my weight in check by measuring my waist when I'm traveling. And it comes in handy a lot of times for other things as well. So I'm very happy that I keep this with me. And for some reason, it's not going back in. There we go. All right. So that does it for my regular toiletries, and that fits in this little container and with zip closed, and that's what fits in my one bag travel. Now, the other thing I wanted to talk about are my liquids. And I just have a few things in here. Just some hair care. I have some primer. I have some rose water spray. I have actually nail polish so that I can give myself a manicure. I have wrinkle releaser. I almost always carry liquid deodorant with me. I like that to freshen up sometimes. That's very nice. And then I have some various hair care, volumizing tonic, and some more lip stuff. I think this came actually in the last time I traveled overseas. It came in my little toiletry kit that was amenity kit that was left on my seat. So you'll notice that this, and there's actually quite a bit of room still in here, but as I said, I keep this pretty small just so that if I were to have to put these items in a quart-sized bag, any of these liquid items would work really well. Now, something that you can see here that I almost always travel with is super glue inside of a little plastic container. That's so that it doesn't get punctured. And I can't tell you how many times this has come in handy for me. So I almost always carry this with me. This and a sewing kit are top priority for me. But this would have to obviously go in my liquid bag because it is a liquid item. And now, for what you've been waiting for, perhaps, some tips and tricks or some hacks. And that is, you've seen this before. This is my valet tray. and you know that it packs flat. And I have a second one that is carbon fiber, and love this one as well. Now they pack flat, they weigh next to nothing, but what I also like being able to use them for is for my toiletries. So let's say you're only going to be somewhere for a couple of days, maybe 3 days. Instead of having everything strewn all over the counter, what I like to do are the things that I'm using the most, I love to put into this valet tray so that it's really easy for me to be able to get exactly what I need for the day out and then leave it there, or even prep myself for my nighttime things that I may need. This also comes really handy when you have to get up very early for a flight the next morning. Just put the products that you need in this valet tray, and then you can put them away into the rest of your toiletries so that you can pack yourself and get ready to go. And 2 other things. Number 1 is I almost always carry some type of full face mask with me, because as you know, if you're traveling air travel, men included, you do get very dehydrated. So I like to use a face mask at some point in time during my trip just so that I can rehydrate my skin. Now, some people do this on an airplane. I'm not quite so bold, although I have done the little eye patches before, but I always bring one of these with me. And now here's the other thing I wanted to talk about. If you are traveling, especially one bag travel or even carry on, and you're taking a number of items, or maybe it's a cold season where you have to take maybe boots or heavy jackets with you, but you're still trying to travel one bag travel, having a toiletry kit that's this size, even though it is compact in comparison to a lot of them, this is actually even smaller than the Tripped travel gear toiletry kit. This is about 2/3 of the size of that, possibly even 1/2 smaller. So how in the world would you even fit something that is 5 inches, 4 inches wide, or 7 by 5? How would you put this in your suitcase to save the most space? And what I'll tell you is you pack it flat. It allows you to be able to kind of pack other things either beside of it, underneath it, somehow or another to configure. I think when I typically travel, this is the way I travel. So I might have a packing cube and I might have this beneath it. And what I also do is I weigh this. Is this heavier than one of my packing cubes? And if it is, then I put this at the base of the suitcase, and then I put the packing cube above it when I happen to be packing my bag or my backpack. And that's how I save a tremendous amount of room, just by divvying the space up between both sides, because both of them are zipped. And even this is zipped solidly. And this you can even put down on one side. This actually fits in the middle of the suitcase where the divots from the handles go. And a lot of times I will even pack things like this in those center compartments. And see how nicely that fits, where then I can place other things around those particular items. So there you have it. That's how I pack my toiletries. And everyone packs their toiletries differently. That is just how I'm doing it right now. And it helps me to travel a lot lighter. And even with what you saw here today, I can actually travel for up to 3 weeks and not have to buy anything. Now, of course, you have to kind of know how much product you use, know how much maybe deodorant you need, how much toothpaste you may need, but you can always buy those things on site, and I totally realize that, although I don't always subscribe to that method, because I personally, when I land somewhere, I need to be able to go. I need to be able to either get to work, or if I'm on a tight schedule with travel, or maybe I'm taking a tour, or if I'm taking a class, I don't have time to be out shopping and looking for things. Yes, that's a great experience and can be super fun. And I enjoyed that immensely last year when I was in Italy and I stayed an extra 3 days. I did have to buy more toiletries at a drugstore and I loved it. It was fun. But when things are unplanned, sometimes that can be a little difficult. So packing like this enables me to be able to replenish those items and always have enough to where I can travel light, carefree, and with a lot of ease. So I hope this helps. If you liked it, please give me a thumbs up below and don't forget to subscribe if this was helpful. I'll see you in the next one. Take care, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.